It's been about a month since Sulfur came to early access, and we've all been enjoying it very much, whether if you've been playing it or watching people play it because you got to wait for console or what have you. It's just a very great game that deserves more traction, and hopefully more traction will come with future updates. That's right. I've been looking at the roadmap, the early access roadmap, because when I'm not playing the game, I'm thinking about the game. When I'm not thinking about the game, I'm usually sleeping. Maybe a couple dreams pop up in there. I don't know. I really like Sulfur. I'm not in a league by myself here neither. I gotta make sure. Okay, we're good. I thought I muted myself earlier. Or I did, but I thought I forgot to unmute because it's like that's a total me thing to do. But I wanted to do something different. Normally I give you like a full gameplay video where I test out a build or we test something or do a playthrough. And today I wanted to try something different, something we can maybe do weekly or bi-weekly. If you don't like it at all, I just won't do it again. But I wanted to open the floor for a discussion about Sulfur because, to be honest, there's a lot of great things that are going on with Sulfur, but one of them is I would like more conversations with the devs. I would like a weekly update. I think Destiny still does that. A lot of rappers and shit do that too. I mean, that's beside the point. Those are not game developers, but plenty of game developers do that. They give you like once a week where they say, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what's going on. Especially in early access, I would love something like that. Because the discussions are a bit limited right now. I guess it is still dipping the toe in the water season. We're just all getting used to the game. Even the people like me that have got hundreds of hours already, which is a bit silly. It's a little bit absurd. But I didn't expect to fall in love with this game so quickly. And it is love. It's true love. It's not puppy love. I'm absolutely obsessed with this game. And I cannot believe it's only early access. They could have gotten away with slapping full game on this and gotten away with it. Like I said, there's already a lot in here. Lots of loot, lots of gun, lots of customization. So what are they going to focus on? What are we going to see first? What do you think, or what do you want out of Sulfur immediately? That's the discussion I'd like to have. And I did throw some gameplay down here because, I mean, let's be honest, we're all ADHD-riddled psychopaths, and we can't, just sit and look at my face. That'd be real weird. What am I, like a drama YouTuber? No. Even though I do love drama YouTube, I'm not part of that clique, and I hope I never will be. But yeah, if we look at the roadmap, if we throw that up there and we get that going, I mean, we see where we are, and I don't know if they're going to update this on the Steam page when it moves up, but we're right now, we're entering into the fixing shit phase, or we've been in the fixing shit phase. We got one big update, which was awesome, which was the storage update. I didn't think they were going to fix that per se. It's not really a fix. It doesn't feel like a fix. It feels like a content update, just like just an expansion, more or less. And it did say, there was wording that said at least 5. So we should see more storage upgrades if they're going to use verbiage like that. I don't know if that's the case, but I hope you wouldn't do me dirty like that, Mr. What was your name? Perfect Random? Jonathan Perfect Random, please give us more storage upgrades because I've already used up what you've given me. I need at least double by the end of the year, and I'll be a happy little camper. Maybe they could put like one new storage upgrade with every update because you're going to be getting new items and they have to go somewhere. And there's plenty of room in that church. I would like some gun racks, mannequins for clothes, maybe like a trash can or something so I can put the items that I know I don't need in there, and then maybe I could start sorting through this hoarding issue that I have, and I could come to terms with that. But honestly, sorry, I have a disease, but honestly, it was an awesome start to early access, getting that update. And I do remember seeing, I cannot find it for the life of me, I did search for it again, one of them saying they were trying to get out updates as fast as possible once they get into early access so that we're not stuck in early access hell. And I've also seen them mention, and this one was in the Discord, I could probably find this quote. If I did, I'll throw it up right here. They said they want like a Dead Cells level, like lifespan. So Dead Cells was like a decade. I think it's still, they might still be doing content. I know they had a collab with Risk of Rain, or was it, no, not Risk of Rain, but probably Risk of Rain, but it was that damn robot game. I have the game. It's a good game. RoboQuest, another roguelite. It's an awesome game. I love RoboQuest. But they did a collab with them. So Dead Cells is still relevant to some circles, and especially to the sweaty gamer circles. Dead Cells is awesome. So they're looking for that kind of thing. So post-early access is not the end, which is definitely the way I want to see it. I want this game to keep going, especially if they do hit the end of the roadmap. I'm not going to jump to the end of the roadmap, but if they do hit that end goal, they're definitely going to have to expand upon the content that we're getting and give us a lot more. And it's just an easy game to put more content in. I mean, essentially, if you wanted to expand it more and give more levels, you could just move the hub or have a different hub you can go to. I wouldn't even mind paying for DLC at this point. I probably would be first in line for that. I haven't touched another game since I started playing this. I'll probably get back around to playing some other indie games at some point, but as of right now, this is the only interest I have as far as gaming goes. I should probably go on those websites where I redeem those keys, because I think I redeemed some keys and never made content on some of those games, so those guys might be kind of fuming, just steaming out their ears. That's my bad. I don't need you to turn to Wile E. Coyote because I made a couple of mistakes. I'll try to fix that and maybe have to do some catch-up here. Good thing it's not mustard. That's a terrible joke. It's a terrible thing to say. But yes, so we're still in the fixing shit phase. I can't think of many things that have been fixed. In fact, I lost half of my inventory on a video I was making tonight and some of my inventory yesterday from two separate bugs. One was a backup issue. It just didn't pull my backup correctly when it crashed, and I lost a bunch of stuff. And then today, I got the issue where there was like overlap in your inventory, and then it deletes the items when you move away from an area. So I lost a pair of Sulfurs that way. It just had to be the Sulfurs, huh? It still hurts. Luckily, I have my own backup save. If you've not been making your own backup saves, I would greatly recommend doing that. At the end of the night, save down your game, have a backup save somewhere. Just do it every time you play. Or if you play all day, here and there, you jump on, jump off, which is nice about this game. It's easily accessible. You can jump on, jump off. If you're going to do that, save down the like a backup somewhere. Just have a folder on your desktop that has your Sulfur backup that's safe in case something happens, like you lose your Sulfurs and you have to be like, well, do I really want to go grind those out, or do I just want to lose the progress I made tonight? I'll probably lose the progress because that's a rare set of items, and I don't want to look for those again. Having two matching shoes can be really hard to do in this game when it's completely random drops. All right, you don't understand. That shit still burns me. But we haven't seen too many updates. Maybe they're going to do one big update where it just fixes a bunch of stuff. That would be cool. I'd be very much into that. I hope it comes soon. I know like games like Rainbow Six Siege have done like the Doctor update or whatever, where they just, instead of getting a season, you just get a bunch of updates all season and it just fixes stuff. Maybe they're trying to do that right out the gate. Like I said, I did see them say that they want to have as many updates as possible, and maybe I'm just angsty. I know once we do get stuff like the second level, which is Deep Woods, second level of the roadmap, or technically third. So actually, are we even in fixing shit? Because if you look at it, it looks like early access is level 1, and then fixing shit is after that. So maybe we're going to get more content updates. I don't know. It's kind of confusing to see if that's where we are. Maybe that little dot moves over 1, and then that's when we go into Deep Woods, and then that's where we are as Deep Woods. Probably that. I think I'm overthinking it. But I do understand that I'm not going to get new content every week or every 2 weeks. That would be awesome. But maybe at some point. There could be some weeks or months where we do just get a bunch of updates because they're able to do some things easier, or maybe they grow their team a little bit. This game did sell really well so far for an indie game with not the most promotion I've seen. I've not seen a lot of promotion for this game. They haven't even got any big YouTubers or Twitch streamers on the hook yet. Once they can find some of them that want to nibble on that fish, or, well, I guess the fish nibbles on the hook, but once they nibble, once some fishies get on that hook and then they want to play this and their giant audience of 1 million plus people see it, obviously every time it happens, it's going to have a boost in sales, and I genuinely think that will happen at some point because it is a good game. It's not an objectively bad game or anything. Like, it's not just like I personally like it. It's a good game. It's well put together. There are performance issues. That's what the fixing shit part of it is, and they are going to get around to fixing those. They have to fix the performance issues. If you're like me, you've just kind of gotten used to them. You accept them, you laugh them off, and then you keep going. But at its bones and its core, it's a great game, and it's obviously going to do really well in its lifetime. It has to. You play so many indie games that are half-baked, unoriginal. They don't take chances. This game did the exact opposite of all those. It feels like a full game, even though it's early access and they have way more planned. It feels full to me. I don't feel hungry at all. I can keep playing those 5 areas over and over again, 6 if you count the the hedge maze. I could keep doing that over and over again without getting bored at all because of the gun customization, which is the part after Deep Woods. And I cannot wait for Deep Woods. I cannot wait to see what they do with that. I doubt we'd get to it once. I didn't even think about that. They could do fixing shit and Deep Woods at once, but they are kind of spaced a little bit. So that might be like their idea of how long it could take, or they just wanted the art to fit in there. If I'm thinking simply, it's probably they just wanted the art to fit in there. Look all nice and cute like that. And it is great art. Everything in this game is great art, including the roadmap for the game. It just looks super clean. The artists deserve 100 raises. I just wish a big company would buy out Perfect Random, or not buy them out, but like throw some money at them, you know, adopt them, or however that process works, and get these guys cooking on this game, more games, especially if they hit the end one, because like this dev team is awesome. I play so many indie games. I played so many indie games this year. If you look at the videos I've made, that's half the indie games I played. Some of them were only on stream. Some of them I did on my own and just testing games out to see, and none of them have come close to the satisfaction I felt from Sulfur. Now, granted, it is a $25 game, so the satisfaction don't come cheap, but I mean, it's definitely worth the price tag. Someone asked me how much I would pay for Sulfur, and I said I would pay 100 at the very least right now. If I knew how much I would like it, I would pay 100. I'm not saying they should be trying to get away with conning people with how great their game is, but they could have. They would have conned me, man. I would have been a victim. That would have been me, a softie. But if we look at Guns and Magic, someone mentioned today on one of my videos, I said, I hope they really lean into Guns and Magic, because that is where the game really thrives, is the gun customization. And that person is 100% right. What I said in response to that was, yes, you're right. You're the smartest person I've ever met because you think like me. But other than that, I also said that the game sucks you in with the challenging gameplay. It really makes you want to get better at the game. And the loot system. The loot system is awesome. There's so much endless loot that you could find, and it's all really cool, and it's all unique. And when you first start this, the first 20 hours of this game, every single run will be some new thing you've never seen. 31 guns, or just off the rip. So, like, yeah, that dude is right. You're 100% right. I wish I had your name on hand, but I'll just screenshot it and throw it up. I'm sorry. It was like their name. Like, so, thank you. But I couldn't memorize it. I think there was a number in there, too. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm making all these promises about throwing stuff up if I forget to throw something up because I had to rush this out at some point. I don't necessarily have to rush it out, right? Like, we're just like a testing, experimental thing. It's just me yapping, talking about Sulfur, which is not hard to do. I mean, you could stick me in a room, a white room with a chair, and a person with a bag over their head, and I can't even see their face, and I might make it easier to just go crazy talking about something I love. And I love it. But they're 100% right. They need to focus on the gun customization, because that is the end game. Once you finish everything and get a really good feel, lay of the land, the end game is making crazy guns and doing crazy things with them. We need more oils. We need more scrolls. Maybe a different kind of magic you could put on the guns. We need those things. Like, I guess they could do like an armor customization too at some point. I don't know. That's a little trickier. Maybe you could level up your armor and then have like 3 enchantments for those, and they can't be as extreme. Maybe just like a slight movement buff, or a couple more armor points. Or maybe there could be like some sort of refinery where you talk to some armorer and he's like, yeah, I can add in like some leaded lining for you. It'll run you about 150 gold doubloon sulfur coins or whatever, and then you can like add that, and then it makes the durability go quicker or something. I'm sure they've thought about that. These guys are very thorough in the way they made this game. But then after that, you got the Fortress and Desert and Revenge, and all 3 of those all seem like new areas. And then Revenge seems like the biggest point in the story, and possibly, I mean, it doesn't even sound like the end of the story. That sounds like St. Lucia comes back. It doesn't even sound like the story might end. It looks like the church is burning. It's on fire. So some big thing in there. But maybe that's revenge on St. Lucia, because I don't pay too much attention to the lore of this game, because to me, the game isn't about the lore. The game is about basically you're the Doomslayer, but you're a priest, and you just go around killing everything, and the lore is not totally important to me. At some point, I'll get into it, but I'm waiting for some nerd to make a video where he's like, this is the entire history of Sulfur up till now. And then, like, that guy is going to be my my second wife. I'm gonna love that shit because I can get the whole breakdown without having to slow down my chaotic brain, and I have to keep going, and I can't stop to talk to you unless it was the chef when he talked to me about like eating dolphin burgers or shit. Like that was great. So the little bits of lore I have had are great, but I'm just waiting for a breakdown for somebody because like I just don't have the patience to stop and read. I just want to keep shooting and blowing stuff up and running as fast as I can, losing my sulfurs to a fucking glitch. But so after those things, the Fortress, the Desert, the Revenge, that's the end of the main storyline, you could assume, for now. But if they want to do that Dead Cells thing, they're obviously going to have to add more areas, possibly more characters, and more quests and stuff like that. There are a couple of side quests. I only know of the one, and that's the Hawkland one, unless you consider the Dolphin menu also being a side quest from Mr. Chef. But then after that, you get to what I think is the most exciting thing, and that is Endless Mode. I cannot wait for that. To me, that's Endless Mode is where the roguelite really opens up. Keep going as far as you can. I mean, Risk of Rain 2 is an example of an Endless Mode that the goal of Endless Mode is not to finish Endless Mode, it's to break your computer. It's to see if the stress test until your computer was giving you 1 or 2 frames and then catches on fire. And then, then you've had your fill of Risk of Rain 2. That is the goal of the Endless Mode there. I think it's Endless Mode. Pretty sure. I haven't played too much Risk of Rain 2, only like 40 hours, but that's another great roguelite game. Obviously, that one's like a big piece of roguelite history, and it's an incredible game. But I should probably play more of it. I can't now. I'm all Sulfur all the time. But Endless Mode is going to be the thing that most of us just stick with and play a majority of the time, unless you need to grind certain things, because certain areas have certain things you need to grind for. If you're interested in finding out what area is best to grind for what, let me know. I can do a video on that. I've been thinking about that, but then I'm like, I got all these other videos I want to do and everything. Be a nice breakdown, a nice little run through. So, and then after that, you get to the really weird one, which is the stretch goal, the multiplayer, which is 1 million wish lists and 200,000 sales. Obviously, we can't get those exact numbers or projections. I think they tweeted at some point a week or so ago that they sold 50,000. So to assume they hit 200,000 sales by the time it goes to console is, I think it's kind of obvious they're going to hit that at the very least before they go to console, which is already planned. So 200,000 sales is pretty much in the bucket. And let's see if they follow through with the multiplayer thing. Obviously, this is a developer that's never made any other titles, so any kind of trust and loyalty needs to be earned. It's not going to be immediately like, I'm sucking the shaft till it bleeds. I got to be able to make sure I can trust you first. And so far, I have nothing but trust in them. With that storage update, that right there was a good way to get people on your side. I could have kept going with the inventory we had, but I know for a fact it would not have been as fun, and it would have hurt gameplay fluidity. So it was really smart to put that storage increase in there. And I'm hoping with every iteration of fixing shit, they add more content. I do think, I have this weird theory. You might be in the same boat, but I started seeing specific items after I played for a certain amount of time. So I think there are some items you could see from Deep Woods, Desert, like the cactus things that are really rare, but you can crop up after you beat the game. Or maybe they sneaked them in a couple of hot fixes or patches and we just didn't hear about them. Because I didn't notice them for the first like 30, 40 hours. And then all of a sudden I was seeing cactus things, lemonade, bark. There's just some random things that I'm like, this doesn't make sense because it doesn't fit to any other level. The berries as well. Maybe they were in there and then they had some issues. So then they put them back in, or they took them out and then they put them back in. I don't know. Lemonade is definitely bugged. If you get lemonade, try that shit out. It's wild. It's a wild adventure. But I'm hoping with every iteration of fixing shit patches, we get like some new guns. Maybe guns is asking a lot. Guns is asking a lot. One gun, singular, not plural, would be great. New grenades, definitely, because I have this like hate boner for grenades. I love to hate them. So new grenades would be cool for me to hate them and then not want to use them at all, unless they had some sort of special. I'm sure, what would it be, like a shock grenade, a freeze grenade? I mean, you got to get the easy ones out of the way first. But especially oils and scrolls, because those are like, yes, please, we need those. Those, like I said, are the bread and butter of the game. Obviously, they still got to fix the rocket launcher one. It's still a small dev team. I hope they can find a way to grow and enhance the experience, DLCs, sure after we get to 1.0. Obviously, we got to hit 1.0 before we can talk about DLCs. I'm thinking years down the line. I don't want to think years down the line. I want to think about what I want right now. And that's the question I'm asking you. So obviously, I want you to tell me what you're looking for on top of what I'm looking for, or in response to why some of my ideas that I've said. I know there's a lot of them. I can throw a lot of words all out at once in succession. It's my hidden skill that's not hidden at all because everyone's very well aware of it. But either way, I'm very excited. Like I said, unless they keep their lips sealed for months and it starts to dry up and the Discord gets a little a little squinty eye, like what the hell's going on here? The Reddit gets a little squinty eye, like what the hell's going on here? I mean, I don't know. The Reddit's weird. If I'm being honest, the subreddit can be a little weird. I don't think people really have a groove in the game yet, so every time they find this one new thing, they're like, oh my god, I got to report this to the squad immediately, and it's something you find a few hours in, which is fine. People are having their fun. They're really excited because this game, it makes it exciting when you find something new. It feels special. So I get why they're doing that. But the Reddit isn't really popping off yet. I shouldn't even go on Reddit. I know it's like the cardinal sin of breathing air. Don't do it. Stop doing it if you can. Just kidding, though. Obviously. Do I need to say that? No, I don't. But I still did. Thank you for keeping me going. This is actually a limited edition G Fuel. I think. It's a hack and slash Jason Voorhees. I think there's a Freddy Krueger one as well. It's pretty good. It tastes like a fruit, citrus, tropical punch kind of. Well, it's not as sweet as the other ones, which I wasn't expecting. I do like me some sweetness. This one's not as sweet as the other ones, which is fine. So, yeah, if I was thinking exactly what I want to see priority-wise, as far as like the future, the big future, and the majority of the stuff we get is oils, guns, and scrolls, and possibly additional kind of enchantments that you can put on them, because you can only fit the 5. 1 scroll, 4 oils, 5 oils, whatever you want to do. There's also weapon attachments. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got like something that could increase weapon speed, like fire rate, something that could change the clip size or how fast you could switch out magazines and clips and everything. And, maybe some new ammo types. That wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't be totally shocked if we saw some additional ammo types. They seem to care a lot about the guns and the integrity of which they are. So, I mean, that's the big one for me. If that's what I'm thinking, is that's where my head is that. And I also want the new levels to be incredibly fun. I don't want them to be, I would be like really sad if Deep Woods came out and it was 3 short procedurally generated levels and that was it. Like 3 would be really sad. I hope there's some new NPCs that are thrown in there, possibly with quests to bring them back to the church hub, or they get implemented into the other areas after you beat Deep Woods. That would be really cool. Obviously, the game does that with enemies already, and I think it does that with some vendors. I don't think you can see the chef. Oh, you just can't see the chef in caves. That's right. You have to hit town before you start seeing him, so it's a little different. Just like Ratma is only seen in the sewers. So I'm sure they'll have 1 or 2 unique NPCs to Deep Woods, probably just 1. And I hope what they sell is some sort of new item. It could be a new consumable, new oils or scrolls, or because like I'm sick of Kevin. Kevin is always giving me the shittiest stuff. I can't get a good oil out of Kevin. It's been so long. Maybe that one dude, Nox or whatever, the floating purple bitch, maybe she's from the Deep Woods and we'll see her there. Fortress sounds really cool, but yeah. And then so like outside of guns, oil, and magic and stuff like that, the big one is endless mode. Endless mode is going to be awesome. I hope it's truly endless. Because then, it's like, first video, can we get to 25, fam? And then we get to, level 25, fam. And then can we get to level 100, fam? And then how far can we go? Because then I got plans to do like a stream where we go until we die. And we bring that dope-ass taser in. And then just like, we never have to die with that. But I'm interested to hear what you have to say and what you want to see for the future. What's your main priority? Maybe it's the story. Maybe it's, the guns and magic and stuff is probably going to be what you say. But what do you want to see? Is there anything specific? Are you like, I want a scroll that can shoot out a turret or something? Like a scroll where your gun can shoot turrets. Kind of like Borderlands has something like that. Or a scroll that will let you throw your gun down as a turret. That would be really cool. Or a scroll that like leaves like an ice trail behind you as you run, and then with that, those areas, if you backtrack, they last a certain amount of time, and you run a little bit faster, but so do the enemies or something. Something cool stuff like that, the weird stuff, or like a vortex gun where you can black hole enemies, but it takes like, it's got like 100% ammo consume chance or something. These are ideas that would be awesome. Or you could shoot forks at people, you know, and then if you hit them with a fork, like there's a better chance of an organ dropping wherever you hit them. So you hit them in the eye, and then you take out the eye with that fork. I mean, it could be increased organ drop rate or something. Also want to see some oils that kind of fix some of the other negative effects. Like there is more bullet drop on some oils. Can we get less bullet drop on some other oils? Because then that would make it interesting. And I think there's even a loading screen that says to like try to negate the negative effects, or I read that somewhere. It might have been a loading screen. So if you have those negative effects like bullet drop, but you can't correct them, a little weird. So that would be cool to see some new oils in that change those. And obviously you could put the rate of fire in those as well, whatever you want to do. But I'm interested in your opinion. Like I said, this is more so a chance for me to talk without end, endless mode talking, and also start a conversation with you, because I've always down to talk with you in the comment section. I made myself very clear on that, Mr., Mrs., or what have you. So, yeah, have a good one, buddy.